Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy, and sorry about my mess, but this is my third painting. And if you saw my most recent couple of blooms using Anchors Aweigh, I have just enough, I think, to do a small bloom. So what I'm going to do is, before it all thickens back up and all that, I'm just going to do it real quick. On this 8-inch canvas, this is a Frederick's canvas. I have the back taped. I have a lot of paint on my canvas. So for some insurance, don't try this at home. For some insurance, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, buddy. And then get some additional paint on my canvas. And this is Anchors Aweigh from Sherwin Colors to Go, Color to Go. And I actually probably had plenty where I didn't even have to do all that. I still have more after this. Goodness. Oh well. I probably didn't even need to do that. So anyway, you shouldn't torch your house paint. There is a bunch of bubbles in this, so I'm going to do it, but you shouldn't. So, but yeah, I'm gonna show you my colors as I go. I am gonna use some of the same colors I've done in the last couple of blooms because I want to use them, but I noticed I forgot to put the abalone shell in the last one, so I'm going to skip the chantilly lace this time. And I have just enough Dolphin stone left, so I'm going to use that on the bottom layer. Again, you're not supposed to torch your house paint, but the bubbles were bad, like real bad. Okay, so this is Dolphin stone, so it's beautiful. We just have a little, so I'm going to go ahead and make that a nice big puddle on the bottom and just use it up. Oops, probably a little crazy. And then it's used up. It's probably way more than we should have used, but I have done what I've done. And now I'm going to use a little bit of Borreal. Beautiful color from Colourarte. Dolphin stone is also Colourarte. You can save 20% on Colourarte using Mandy1120. Discount code is in the description box. And I have lots of discounts in there for you. I have lots of links too. So I also get my Australian Floetrol from Pixel Paint Designs. Shipped from the United States, just as cheap as ordering from eBay and faster. And she gives you a 10% discount. So it's Mandy10. It's in the description box. This is Indigo from Colourarte. Has a nice purple shift. So we're going to go ahead and put that bad boy on here. This one may be either really simple or I may get carried away because that's what I do. I am going to use my blow dryer. I know I've been working on blowing them out myself, but I'm using a blue black cell activator and I find that that goes a little bit smoother with a blow dryer. This is Caribbean Mist. It's thickening up a little bit. This is from Colourarte. So this has been mixed up a long time, and unfortunately it's been thickening up while we've been painting over here. I say we, like somebody's painting with me. I'm over here painting by myself. Where's my pokey thingy? I'm going to use a little Australian red violet. Not going to use gold in this one, I don't think. I am going to use, let's see, last time I used Benton color shift from Eye Candy. This time I'm going to use whatever one this is. This is Daikoku, so I'm going to use that. I do have a discount code for Eye Candy. I'm currently testing out this sample set of the Ultra Shift or Chameleon pigments. You're not going to be able to see this until it dries, unfortunately, because the house paint is going to mute the color a little bit until it dries. So sorry about that, but I will show you resin results once everything's final. Of course, it takes me a while to get things resined, unfortunately. So there's that guy. Fun. We're gonna use a little abalone shell, which I should have put further in the bottom. There's abalone shell from Colourarte. It's very sparkly. It's probably hard to tell how sparkly. And I really need to use this one up, but it would be too much to use it right now. Oh, I was gonna add some cherry sorbet, but I should have added that toward the bottom. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this Indanthrene blue. It's kind of like an indigo color. This is a Holbein fluid color, but if you like indigo from Matisse, which is very expensive, Indanthrene blue from Holbein is a pretty similar color and it's cheaper. So from me to you. So we're gonna put this in a little Australian red violet and maybe a little white underneath our cell activator, and we're gonna blow it out. And I'm making such a mess. Tempted to do cobalt teal instead of white, but I like the effects that we get with white. All right, Australian red violet from Matisse. All my regular non-Colourarte paints, by the way, for the most part, I get at Blick, and I have a link to Blick. Unfortunately, there's no specific discount code. They have specials all the time, but if you do use our link, it helps our channel. So it helps us continue to cover the cost of supplies and all that jazz. Wish I would have known about Blick when I first started pouring. I used to go to Michael's like constantly with my, this is when you could get like 50% coupons, you know, and I could have accomplished a lot more going to Blick. So this is just titanium white from Matisse. I'm just gonna drizzle. We really just want this on here for some nice cell coverage, because we're gonna use a blue-black cell activator, and it's gonna give us some nice little pops of color. So I'm gonna use my Babyliss hair dryer because, oh, look at this. This is trying to travel. Don't travel. This is too much paint, and I didn't think I was gonna have enough. Go figure. This is a whole lot of paint, by the way. Okay. So Atelier blue black with Australian Floetrol. Oh my gosh, the bubbles. They're just everywhere. Anyway, I hope you guys are not bored with this. It's so rare that I have time to paint 3 little paintings in one night, so I was tempted to pack it up and do something else like resin and responsible adulting things I need to do, but I hardly ever get to do this, so figured we'll just use all the same paints and use them a little differently. And I had no idea there was like 8 million bubbles in there. Okay. There is that. There's a bubble in there. It's gonna have to come out before we blow dry it. It popped, yay. Okay, that's probably enough. I'm just gonna enlarge it with my own breath. I can blow 8-inch out fairly decently, but blue-black is a little less friendly to blow out for me with my mouth, so. Although it was going okay, but we're gonna use this. Cool air, low fan. I've done this last thing here. Kind of messed up, but I think it's going to be okay. Okay, it's a little dark. It's gonna be okay. I made a mess over here. All right. There's a lot of cell activator in the middle that kind of needs to develop. So I'm just breaking the surface tension a little bit. The thicker cell activator like Atelier does take a little bit longer to develop, so like it looks real crazy right now, but as we spin and that area opens up, it will respond. I did blow down a little bit too hard. That's okay. We have nice coverage. I love how we just changed something a little bit and it looks like a completely different painting. That makes me happy. I don't want you guys to be bored, but by the same token, I was like using up paint and having a great time, you know what I mean? So there's still way too much cell activator in the middle, but it's okay. It's gonna open up, I think, so we're not gonna obsess. We have obviously a ton of paint. We could have used, yes, less pillow paint and been fine. In fact, it would have probably been helpful to use less pillow paint because then we wouldn't have to lose some of the stuff I really like to get enough paint off the canvas. Here, I blew down into the pillow. So the good thing about that is the pillow's blue, so it's not as noticeable. But I think what I would like to do is slide this. I'm kind of nervous because there's a lot of paint on the canvas. But I want to slide this just a little bit in that direction and see if we can't kind of encourage more paint to go off that way than this way. But again, there's a lot of paint on the canvas, so I don't want it to slide off. But it is working a little bit. Let's see. Still kind of a lot. Unfortunately, I'm kind of losing stuff I don't want to lose to try to get that off. But I do have to get enough paint off. So I think at this point, what I'm going to do is move it back to the center. Move it back, move it back. Super messy. Give it another good spin or two, let the middle open up, because what was happening because I was favoring that one side is the middle was opening up more in one side, and I need the middle to open up a little bit more. Now the only bummer is I feel like I'm losing a lot of color. So I might stop there and take my chances. So it's very frosty, very pretty. There's some nice color. It's more muted than it was when we started because of all of the spinning to get all that paint off. But I think under resin, because these colors are very complementary, I think it's going to be beautiful. We still have a lot of cell activator in the middle. Just breaking the surface tension to see if there's color under there. Plus, you don't really want a river of cell activator in the middle. As it dries, it can make your cells wonky. It's not as likely with a thicker cell activator, but it can happen. So we are getting some more even coverage out here. The only sad part is we are losing a lot of our color. It's still pretty. But if the middle will open up a smidge and give us another cell or two, which it is doing that, I think it'll be nice. There is less of a gaping pillow showing here, and it's still really nice. Not as much popping color as the other ones that I've done, but still really nice. Certainly am pleased with it overall. And again, under resin, you're going to see that dolphin stone shimmering over that blue surface, and it's going to really look gorgeous. My only regret with this one is using a little bit too much paint and having to lose some of our color saturation from spinning, having to spin a lot. But I'm still pretty happy with it. It's certainly not in the center, so I think we're going to call it good there. I'm going to bring you in for a close-up. You'll let me know what you think. And then I'm going to have to clean up after myself because I'm a mess. This is making me a little concerned, but I think it's going to be okay. But that is a note to self about too much cell activator. I think it's going to be okay though, because, and I'll show you up close right now. All right, so here it is. So what I was going to say is in the center, I think it's going to be okay because you can see around the cells, we've got the real sparkly stuff happening. So I think even though it's kind of trying to travel right here, because it blends so nicely with the background, I think it's going to be okay. So really pretty. Of all of the three I did with the Anchors Away, I think this is maybe my least favorite just because there's not as big of a pop of color, but I still love it. So here's where we have the Australian Red Violet. You can see how much different this is going to look when it dries under resin and stuff. Look at that sparkle. Look at that. I think that's that Borreal color showing. It's hard to see from up high because of the dark background. Abalone shell. Poppin'. And we do have our chameleon color in here too. In fact, this actually might be that. Hard to tell because I use so many sparklies. Look at those cute little bubbly cells. So what do you think about this one? Would you keep it? Would you pour over it? I'm not going to scrape it, so, but pouring over it, it could happen. Anyway, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to check out the description box for all kinds of stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.